Welcome back. Well, as I mentioned, we have Reza Karimi here, who is here on behalf of insurance today, HO6 Insurance, and you're a third, and we really need to talk a lot about how this works. But welcome.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about this issue.
Yes.
The reason that prompted me to talk about this issue was recently I was involved with a couple of cases of water intrusion into the manors of our members. Mm-hmm. So when the water intrusion happens, there is a pipe leak in the wall, and the wall is damaged, the flooring is damaged, and now they have to fix it. They call in, go in, they fix the pipe, the leaking pipe, mm-hmm. and then they clean it up, and then they dry it up, and then they put the drywall up and fix the drywall.
Okay.
And they stop. The member thinks that, if they're damaged to the flooring, to the carpet, to any of the item inside the manor should be covered by the insurance, HOA insurance. When we say no, they're surprised. And I'm surprised because people that have mortgages, the mortgage company make them to buy insurance,
right?
HO6 insurance, because they know that things inside the manor is not covered.
Right.
But people who buy the cash and they don't have mortgage or anything, either they forget to renew their insurance HO6 or they don't buy it at all.
Right.
And when these things happen, the costs sometimes are expensive,
right.
and they're surprised and they get upset because when they hear that it's not covered. I'm going to tell that what the mutual insurance, the master program covers.
Okay.
According to our CCNR, it covers 100% of the structure. Structure.
That would be like 4 walls and a roof.
And a roof.
Okay.
And the plumbing inside the wall and electrical work inside the wall.
Okay.
Anything after the drywall is the responsibility of the manor owner.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So under the floor, is there any pipes that go under the flooring? So would that be covered?
Under the flooring is covered because that's belong to HOA.
Okay.
Anything belong to the HOA is covered.
Okay.
But if you put a Brazilian, the wood floor in there that costs $15,000 and is damaged, the HOA insurance won't pay for it.
Okay.
So you have to buy your own insurance.
So buying your own insurance, you're talking about the HO6.
HO6,
buying your own.
Sure.
It's kind of like buying a home warranty, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah,
okay.
It's just like car insurance, and they have the cafeteria of items that you can buy coverage for.
Okay.
You can buy coverage for your jewelry. You can buy coverage for Persian carpet, your painting, appliances, whatever you want.
Okay.
The cost can be very little. The cost can be high. It's up to how much you want to cover your manor and how much you want to pay.
Okay. And who actually sells the HO6 insurance?
Most of the insurance companies, the State Farm, Farmers Group, the Geico, everybody sells those HO6 insurance.
So let me ask you, how does HO6 insurance differ from rental? Well, I guess it's
rental.
The same. Is it the same?
Is it the same?
Okay.
That's why. If you are my point is with the renters too. When you rent, you want to make sure that the owner have the HO6. If they don't, you have to buy your own.
Renters, got it. Okay.
Renter insurance is the same thing. You get your coverage.
Okay.
Because the owner might not have it or is not there, and if anything happens, is your appliances, your belonging that damaged,
right.
and you need to have that coverage.
Okay, so at what point do they need to look into the insurance? Immediately upon purchase?
Usually, as I said, the mortgage company, before they approve your mortgage, they want you to buy the insurance.
Okay.
And if you buy cash, buy it immediately.
Okay.
Don't let it gap, because things happen, especially the most cases that they have is water intrusion. That the pipe breaks, and that's what damaged everything. With fire is different, but we don't have that many of those around here.
Right.
But the water intrusion is the most common thing that might happen to anybody, and for that, the damage usually is mainly flooring, carpet, wood flooring, some furniture, or your cabinets, or things like that, and those are covered under HO6.
Okay. Okay.
But
so go ahead. Okay, so where is it that when you purchase your home, that they have the information about what is covered underneath for the manor?
You get a 3-4 inch thick package.
Yeah.
And I understand. This is the first time I lived in HOA, but I had properties that was HOA.
Okay.
And I learned my lesson then because I was renting those property, and one time there was a water intrusion, and I end up paying the renter because I felt bad for them because I didn't have the insurance. I didn't tell them to buy the insurance.
Yeah.
They didn't know. So I learned my lesson. The best thing is to read as much as you can the CCNR and the rules and regulation, and the more knowledge you have, the safer you are.
Well, exactly. But like you said, you have a very thick document that you have to go through, and if everyone's like all the rest of us, we don't really necessarily read all the documents, right?
I know.
So, what do you think would be helpful for the individual?
I think I'm going to work with the board, and I'm going to see if we can identify some of these items that are critical for the new owners, or even the current owners, to know about the facts about what they have to do to protect themselves. What are the critical items? One of them is this insurance.
Okay.
That we say, we give them a 1-pager or 2-pager, and we're going to say, put whatever stars on it or bells and whistles, and say, please read these. These are the things that you need to do to protect yourself while you're living in a HOA.
Okay.
It's a fact sheet.
Yeah.
I call it fact sheet type thing. But we have to get those together, and I don't want to be another 50 pages of items.
Right.
It has to be very to the point and very short, so people read it and understand, oops, I have to buy the HOA. So next time something happened, they're not going to get mad and upset, because now they have to pay a lot of money, and they think that somebody pulled one over their eyes and they didn't know. I mentioned to you one time I went in front of the judge for my a speeding ticket. I said, oh, I forgot I was watching this. I said, well, sir, ignorance is not the defense.
Yeah.
You should read them.
No, it's true, and especially if you have something highlighted and maybe stapled to their
That's what
thing.
that would be a good thing, that if we put that on top of the package at the closing or in the escrow part, and then people have it in front of their faces.
It's not a bad idea for lots of different things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're buried and people don't read it or understand, at least you can
I
highlight
agree.
it.
I had a friend that bought the unit, lives in Chicago, is a part-time, the residence here. He went online and read everything. I couldn't believe it. Well, I don't blame him. He's a he's a nuclear scientist and reads everything.
Oh.
and he calling me every day. What about this? What about that?
Goodness.
I said, you're really reading all of this?
Yeah.
He said, why not? That's my investment.
Right.
And everyone should think that way. But you're right. It's too much, too many.
Yeah.
And there are, embedded information that you really have to look for.
Okay.
But if we can bring those up and make a fact sheet, that would help a lot.
Now, the governing documents that are available on the Laguna Woods Village website, they could go to a specific section to read about this. What is this section called?
For the insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just called, you just put insurance and it'll go right to it?
HOA insurance and coverages.
Okay.
What you're covered, but you're not covered.
Perfect.
But those are going to help a lot.
Yeah.
That, if people go and do the search. But as I said, I hear, well, a lot of our members are not, don't have time, or they don't want to go to the computer, they're not computer savvy. Well, the fact sheet might be help. I mean, that's another the way of communicating some of these items.
Right.
Among many others.
One thing we didn't talk about is costs. So if it is similar to a homeowner's warranty, it may not cost very much per year.
It depends how much you want to get coverage.
Okay.
If you show those, the slides, it tells you. You can get as much coverage as you want.
Oh, yeah.
It can be as low as, I heard that's probably $10, $15 a month, and as high as $60, $70 a month. Depends on what you're covering.
Right.
As I said, if you have a couple of Persian carpets and you're worried about that the water intrusion might damage them, you might want to, and the insurance company evaluate those and tell you, what your coverage is.
Right.
But if, If you don't, and you have just regular carpet and you want to buy a smaller amount, you can buy as much as you want.
Now, let's say, for instance, I mean, I know you're not an insurance representative for this, but maybe you know, dealing with some of these other cases, is that you know, you buy the place, it has just regular, you know, fixtures and things like that, but then you go and do an upgrade. So at that point, once you've done the upgrade, do you have to contact the insurance company?
My understanding is yes.
Okay.
That you have to let them know, for example, now you upgraded something and the cost of it is higher.
Okay.
I don't know how much they add or not add, but if they don't know, they might penalize you.
Yeah.
As long as they know, you might not get out the, you know, extra money, but at the same time, you know, you have a defense that I told you, you know about that.
Yeah.
The other thing that I want to mention, if you add addition to your home, to your manure, those are not covered because those are addition. We cover the basics, what is on the map that we have on the, you know, sketches.
Okay.
Those addition also you have to buy insurance for. When you buy that HOA6, you have to mention that you have addition, this much addition, because that roof, those walls, those are not HOA responsibility.
Okay.
And they tell them that at the alteration time, that these are not covered. So for example, if I add, you know, 200 square foot to my home, and now that roof is leaking, I better not call the, you know, HOA here because they're going to see that's your responsibility.
Right.
You have to buy the insurance.
Okay.
Those are the things that people need to know, and don't be surprised if the answer is no. And don't get upset because that is the rule, and nobody can bend the rule. That's our rules and regulation, and we have to abide by it.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for the information. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity. And one thing I want to say, that the election is by the end of this month. Please get out and vote and show that you support your community. That's all.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And if you have questions about this particular type of insurance, you can always go to the governing documents that are located on the LagunaWoodsVillage.com website. We'll be right back.